It looks like Mortal Kombat 1 is already making its comeback. The online issues have been fixed, new costumes are on the way and will be completely free, and then best of all, we get a sneak peek at Peacemakers Attacks in Mortal Kombat 1. All that and more discussed in today's video. Because another day means more Mortal Kombat 1 news. I'm covering it all the time on this channel, so if you want to stay up to date, then make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any future videos. And then after watching, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below, it helps the channel out a ton. And without any further ado, let's begin. Starting off with the Peacemaker news, because I know that's why most of you are here. For starters, we finally have a release date. It looks like Peacemaker will drop on February 13th. That's right, one day before Valentine's Day. And I think that was a really smart move on NetherRealm's part, because dropping the character on Valentine's Day would have made a lot of people's dates upset. Can you imagine telling your girlfriend that you can't go out that night because you gotta play the new DLC character? NetherRealm saved us big time by having Peacemaker come out one day before Valentine's Day. And to make things even better, it looks like the desync issues have been completely fixed for Mortal Kombat 1. That's right, you no longer have to worry about a match being dropped in the middle, start, or end of one of your gameplay sessions. The desync issues have been solved, which once again is great news because that means when Peacemaker does drop and everyone starts playing this character, they don't have to worry about their matches disconnecting or desyncing, none of that annoying stuff. And oddly enough, on an ironic note, it looks like this curse has passed over to Tekken 8 because that game came out yesterday, or maybe 2 days by the time this video comes out. And let me tell you something, that was a rough first day. I love the characters in Tekken 8, so much fun to play, but every single time I played a match, the game crashed. That's right, every single time, not just ranked matches, okay? I know Mortal Kombat 1 had issues with ranked matches and maybe some casual matches, but for Tekken 8, even the private lobby matches kept crashing, man. It was crazy. Every game, or every 2 games at best, the game kept crashing. And just so you understand that I'm not exaggerating, after playing for about 2 hours, I experienced over 20 crashes in Tekken 8. It was crazy. Hopefully, by the time this video goes live, the issue will have been fixed. And honestly, I'm only bringing it up because I find it so ironic that when Mortal Kombat 1's online gets fixed, here comes Tekken 8 with their own online issues to deal with. So it almost seems like fighting games are cursed right now. The online just cannot hold itself together. But I digress. Back to Peacemaker, because here is where the video gets super duper interesting. I have not seen anybody else cover this topic yet, so we may have a true underdog first. And a very big shout out to Casino, because he's the reason we get a sneak peek at Peacemaker's attacks before he's even playable or even in a trailer for Mortal Kombat 1. For anyone not aware, Casino has done an amazing job covering all the stuff about Mortal Kombat Onslaught, which is a mobile game that NetherRealm has also made. Even way back when the game was still in its open beta phase, Casino was covering anything and everything about Mortal Kombat Onslaught. But you may be wondering what this has to do with anything. We're talking about Mortal Kombat 1 today, right? Not Mortal Kombat Onslaught, so why even bring up that mobile game? Well, because it just so happens that Mortal Kombat 1 characters end up in Mortal Kombat Onslaught and always end up using their same attacks. And guess what? It just so happens that Peacemaker's files got added to Mortal Kombat Onslaught earlier than Mortal Kombat 1, and you guessed it, some of these files have Peacemaker's attack names in them, which means, in other words, Mortal Kombat Onslaught tells us in advance which attacks Peacemaker will have in Mortal Kombat 1 as well. So today we're going to talk about 6 of them. That's right, 6 different attacks that Peacemaker likely will have in Mortal Kombat 1 because they're in the files for Onslaught, and so far every character from Mortal Kombat 1 reuses these same attacks and animations when they're added to Onslaught. Alright, so first up we have exploding compression bullets. Yeah, no surprise that Peacemaker is gonna use a gun in Mortal Kombat 1. But these aren't regular bullets, no, these are exploding compression bullets, so that's going to be really cool. His gun fires bullets that can make the opponent explode. That's going to be super interesting. But if you think that's cool, check out this next attack because it has me the most excited. Eagly. Yeah, in case anyone watching does not know about Peacemaker, that's the name of his pet bald eagle. That's right, this character has himself a pet bald eagle, and this attack name implies that you can summon his pet eagle during gameplay and use it to attack your opponents, and that just sounds so cool. It kind of reminds me a bit of Nightwolf from Mortal Kombat 11 because he could summon the spirit of an eagle to attack the opponent, which looked really cool. Unfortunately, it wasn't actually that good of an attack, but the concept was still really cool, and I bet for Peacemaker it's gonna be much better, right? Sending in a pet eagle to attack the opponent is going to be so sick. Man, I'm getting excited just talking about these attacks and theorizing what they're going to actually be in Mortal Kombat 1. Next up we have the Sonic Boom, which I know sounds straight out of Street Fighter, fighter, but I seriously doubt that Peacemaker's gonna do this and send a projectile at his opponent by swiping his arms together. I don't think it's gonna be a literal Guile sonic boom. Instead, if I had to guess, I bet it's going to be something to do with Peacemaker's helmet. Once again, I have to explain for anybody who might not be a fan of the Peacemaker show, but his helmets all have different functions and abilities, and one of them can fire a sonic boom, which is already really cool. But to make things even more interesting, check this out. This attack is listed as an ultimate in Mortal Kombat Onslaught, and that's really interesting because it could mean that maybe Peacemaker's fatal blow is the sonic boom attack, right? Because that's also an ultimate in Mortal Kombat 1. Now, of course, I could be wrong about that. It's a bit of a stretch, but I would not be shocked if the sonic boom is an ultimate in Mortal Kombat Onslaught and therefore a super move in Mortal Kombat 1, otherwise known as a fatal blow. But next up, let's talk about attack number 4, Solemn Vow. Now, this special move sounds really interesting to me because it doesn't sound like an attack necessarily, so maybe instead this move could be a buff that gives Peacemaker armor, maybe he heals himself or gets a damage buff. You get the idea, right? When I hear the attack name Solemn Vow, I don't think it's a physical attack. To me, it sounds more like a buff or something passive that helps the character, which honestly would make sense because in the Onslaught files, it's listed as a passive attack. And real quick, just to remind everybody, yes, these attacks were found in Mortal Kombat Onslaught, but that game always does reuse the attacks and animations from Mortal Kombat 1. So even though every attack I'm talking about right now is in a different game, that game only inherits the moves and animations from Mortal Kombat 1, which means all of these attacks are going to be in Mortal Kombat 1, or at the very least give us clues to Peacemaker's attacks in Mortal Kombat 1. Next up, we have attack number 5, the Blow Dart. Now this sounds really cool because as mentioned earlier, Peacemaker does use a gun, but the ammunition for this gun seems to have a lot of variety. Earlier we had exploding bullets, and now we have a blow dart. So cool. And now finally, it's time for the last attack, last but certainly not least. It's called Bird of Prey. Now obviously my brain once again is jumping to the pet eagle known as Eagly. I think it's very possible that Peacemaker has more than one attack that utilizes his pet bald eagle. Now that being said, anything's possible. Maybe for some reason in Mortal Kombat 1, Peacemaker has access to more than one type of bird. I don't see why he would, but anything could happen. However, for me personally, I choose to believe that Eagly is going to be more than one attack for Peacemaker's move list. And if that does turn out to be the case, it's going to make Peacemaker feel a lot more unique, because anyone can fire guns, but only one Mortal Kombat guest character can summon a pet eagle. No matter what the case may be, Peacemaker sounds like a very interesting character. Having looked over the 6 different attacks that were found in the game files for Mortal Kombat Onslaught, I think Peacemaker sounds very unique as a DLC character, which is refreshing because sometimes a guest character can feel a bit generic and dumb and not that creative, but Peacemaker sounds really interesting as a fighter. And then on top of that, he's going to have the voice of John Cena, which is just going to be amazing. But now's the part of the video where I make things interactive. So right now, I want everybody watching to leave their thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you find the most interesting about Peacemaker in Mortal Kombat 1? Which of these attacks has you the most excited, and what do you think they mean? Make sure to leave every thought you have in the comment section down below, because like I keep saying in every single video, I truly do read each and every comment. So grab that keyboard and make your voices heard. Now for the final topic of today's video, let's talk a bit about Season 4 of Invasions. It's already been confirmed that Season 4 is going to be Molina, which means we finally get to use this costume. I love this design. Honestly, one of my favorite Molina costumes to ever exist. I think this costume is already goated. Top 5 Molina skin for me personally, which I know is a bold claim to make because Molina's had so many great costumes throughout the decades of Mortal Kombat, and like mentioned earlier, this costume is going to be completely free. And on top of that, we're also going to get a bunch of free palettes as well. I know right now fighting games are charging a lot for their costumes for some reason, but keep in mind Mortal Kombat 1 is the only fighting game that gives you free costumes every month or two. And I just think that's really cool. Even though these DLC costumes are overpriced, it's nice to get some free stuff every now and then too. That's about it for today's Mortal Kombat 1 news. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below. It does help my channel out a ton. And then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.